Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In our last video, we started our journey into building API with Nitro.js and we got as far as setting up our server. Today we are taking the next step by setting up Firebase in our project. Alright, so before we dive into the code, let's talk about Firebase. Firebase is a platform that was created by Google that offers a wide array of services from databases to authentication, cloud storage, and more. For our API, we are going to be using Firebase Firestore for storing our data and Firebase authentication to manage user accounts. Let's go ahead and create services. So create a project. Let's give it a name. Demo API. Fine. Or you can give it whatever name you want. Then from there you make sure you untick this, we don't need it. Then create the project. So while this is creating, let me just say a bit about Firestore. So Firestore, let me talk a bit about the services we are going to be using, which is Firestore and the Firebase ports. So Firestore is a NoSQL cloud database that scales automatically, meaning you don't need to worry about servers and maintenance. This is perfect for building API quickly. On top of that, the authentication makes the user management straightforward, offering various authentication methods out of the box. Okay, now that the project has been created, I'm going to be redirected. I'm going to be directed to our console. Okay, go to your build. After that, go to your Firestore database. From there, create the database. And oh, it looks like okay, it's ready. You can leave it as the default settings, but if you know your location is here and where you're staying is closer to this place, go ahead and switch it. But for me, I'm going to leave it as it is. Next, pick test mode. After we're done testing the database, then we can switch over to the production mode. I can that how to go about that. So create. Now the database is creating. So I'm going to pause the video. When it's done creating, I'll come back. As you can see, the database has been created. Now let's do the same for our authentication. Go back to build, authentication. Get started. We're going to make the auth simple. So we're going to use the email and password. Enable this, then save. Now the two services have been created. Let's now move over to our API keys and our admin key. Go to your project setting. In the project settings, underneath the general tab, go to this. You will see this. Make sure you click on this web. This is for the web. Okay. Now you give it a name. let's say demo. You can give whatever name you want. All right. Okay, now it has been created. Let's go back to our console. After that, you need your admin key. Go to your service account. Generate new key. Okay, the key has been generated. Now that we're done setting up our console, let's move over to our editor. Over to the editor. Let me switch over to my. Okay, so the admin key that we just downloaded, let's open it. Okay. So this is your key. Now we're going to move it to our env file, copy everything, and give it a name, Firebase underscore admin underscore. Go to and paste the key. So there's something the env does. It makes sure everything is in strings. Everything is in a string. So what we're going to do is we're going to put everything in one line so it can be made as string. So we Control Alt, then let me start from here. Control Alt, then your down arrow. Spacebar, spacebar. As you can see, everything is in one line. And then you go back to your general in your console, your Firebase console. Pick your API key only. We are going to be using that later in the code, and I'll show you and I'll let you know why. I'll switch over to your editor. That'll be Firebase. That's got API. That's got key. Also, yeah, let's remove the quotation mark around it. The env file is doing that already for us. Now that we've set our env file, let's go to our Nitro config. In the Nitro config, we are going to be placing our env files, our private key in the runtime configuration. What this does is it exposes this our API in our project. So all we just need to do is import a composable, search the key that we want, and voila, it's in already. So first of all, let's so for our credentials, let's call it our admin. For our admin key, you have to pass it into JSON. But that's how when initializing it, it releases only the JSON file, not string format. And also for our API key, we leave it as it is. API key process.env like that. Then let's move over to our plugin. In the plugin, that's when we're going to initialize our Firebase admin. But before you do that, make sure you have your admin package installed, your Firebase admin package installed already. That'll be npm install Firebase admin. I already have mine, so there's no need for me to install it again. After I'm done installing it, move over to the plugin folder. Create a file, Firebase. You can give it whatever name you want. Firebase.cs. Sorry about that. You can give it whatever name you want. Then you go ahead and import the Firebase admin /app. get the apps, and get your credentials from your use runtime config. This is the composable I spoke about. After you're done with that, you first of all check if the app, if there are more than one app. If not, initialize the app credentials. When you get your credentials, your sats, then you begin to add the values for each keys and begin to map the values for each keys. Once you are done with that, your Firebase will be um your Firebase will be initialized. To prove that it's working, first of all, log this, comment this out, npm yes. That's my server. So as you can see, it's asking for this property. Let me uncomment this one out. Change the name from credentials to call it AP admin key. Okay, so admin key. Yeah, it's now working. So in the next video, we're going to be building the utility functions so we can reuse it throughout the project. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned.